Hey yo, this is Dash, and today I'm standing in front of Pauline, my Lone Star Grillz pellet cabinet cooker. In today's video, I'm going to answer the question, how long or how many hours of cook time will you get out of the 40-pound bag or a single hopper full of pellets? Get ready. All right, so I'm going to show you guys what I have going on. So this is the hopper. My hopper, in case you didn't see it, I did a first mod video and it was basically a short. Hey yo, this is Dash, and I wanted to show you guys my first modification that I've done to Pauline, my Lone Star Grillz pellet cabinet cooker. All right, so in case you don't know or don't remember, this is my cabinet pellet cooker, but the first modification I've done, I put a ruler down in the hopper. I bought a cheap ruler from Walmart. That ruler cost me like $2.50, maybe $3. I put a bend in it where the bottom of the pellet hopper bends at like a 45-degree angle to get the pellets down into the auger. It sits down in there, it sits down and it goes about 17 inches down into the cooker with the bend down. With that being said, I'm figuring every hour of cook is an inch of pellets, or every inch of pellets is an hour of cooking at probably about 250 degrees. I'm going to be testing that out soon. Stay tuned. I stuck a ruler inside of my hopper. The hopper depth to basically where the bend on the bottom of the hopper is about 17 inches down. So with that being said, I'm going to fill this guy up. I'm going to be using the Smokehouse Premium Hardwood Barbecue Pellets, the Smokehouse blend. It is hickory, oak, maple, and cherry. So I get these pellets from Sam's Club. This 40-pound bag, it costs $15, and it's one of the best values I've found. If you found or know of a better place to get pellets, please let me and everyone else know down below in the comments. All right, so before I fill up the hopper, I figure I should tell you how many pellets or how much pellets we have down in there. That looks like just about 6 inches of pellets are in the bottom of that hopper. And just to give you a perspective, so we're looking at probably a little more than half empty, but I'm going to fill it up to the top, and that will take the entire basically 40-pound bag. So I know I should basically clean out the hopper, take everything out of there, but we're going to start with it already primed, and you're probably going to top this off before you start a big cook. This will be basically your barometer. I'm going to set the temperature at 250 degrees. Now, of course, your mileage may vary in how long your cooker will last, depending on how much food you have in here, depending on the ambient air temperature. There's a lot of variables. How about we take this with a grain of salt and we start this and we say, this is going to be how long the pellets will run at 250 degrees is what I'm going to run the cooker at today for X number of hours at, and you know, we'll fill in the blanks by the end of the video. Anyway, I'm going to get my pellets. I'm going to get the hopper filled up. That is a full hopper. Should I top it all the way up? Get it all the way up to the top? Let's do that. That last little bit, we are pretty much even with the ring here. Can't get much fuller than that. All right, time to start so let's press the power button and it comes to life. All right, it shows ambient air temperature 76 degrees. Press knob to ignite, and I'm going to turn this up to 250 degrees. All right, let's get stuck in and see how long it takes to come up to temperature. At this point, it is just about 8 p.m. and I got the smoker turned on. So we're going to keep on keeping on. I figured if I started this early enough at night, I know this should go for more than 12 hours. So we're going to see how this pans out. But I'm going to go ahead and just sit here for a few minutes, wait for the smoker to come up to temperature. All right, so I've just been sitting out here waiting and watching the pellet grill come up to temperature, or pellet cabinet come up to temperature. And it took 30 minutes from the time I pressed the power button on and turned the knob to hit 250 degrees. And at this point, it ramps up and goes past 250. Let's see where it stops. It's currently at 274 and still climbing. It'll kind of go up to about 280 degrees and then it'll ramp and, you know, it'll level off and drop down. My plan is to use the Fireboard app and keep track of this throughout the night. It's only 8:30. I'm not planning on going to bed, I'm gonna say anytime soon, but within the next few hours, I'm gonna sit out here for maybe another half an hour or so, babysit it. Once it gets settled in and hits that, or start floating at that 250 degree temperature mark, I'm going to go ahead in the house and monitor it through the app. This app is fantastic, by the way. If you haven't and don't know about the Fireboard app, fantastic. The controller is fantastic and this app is fantastic. So, all right, I'm going to just monitor this. And what I ended up doing was the pit temperature currently is at 285. It is still climbing, but I can hear the auger starting to slow down and the fan slowing down. So the temperature is at 286 and I have a probe set just underneath the second rack. So rack 1, rack 2, I have it underneath the second rack and it is currently at 263 degrees. So I'm gonna see what the difference is between the two and we can kind of go from there. I'll see y'all in a bit. It's me again with another update. So it has been, where it was 7:56, it is 8:38 p.m. and the temperature is back down below 250 degrees. I told you guys it got to 250 degrees. It took 30 minutes. It was 8:25, so it took 28 minutes. Then it got to its highest temperature at 8:29. It was 295.7 degrees was the high point that it measured. And it got back down to 250 degrees. It dropped under 250 at 249.9 degrees, 249.9 degrees at, check my time point here again. It was 8:35 p.m. 8:35. Yes. So in 10 minutes, it went from hitting 250, 4 or 5 minutes at 200, or it hit 295 degrees, and then it dropped down. And right now it's getting settled in, and it dropped to a low settled in temperature. It was at 230 degrees. So 233, and that was, I'm trying to check the time point here. 228 at 8:38. So I'm just going to keep sitting here watching this for a few more minutes. Probably about another 15-20 minutes. I'll head in the house and I'll just monitor it from my phone in the house. So if you have a Wi-Fi connection, you can monitor your cook from anywhere in the world you have an internet connection. All right, I'll see you guys in my next check-in. All right, so it is 10:50, 10:51. So it's been, what, 2.5 hours, I think? And holding steady at 250 degrees in the cooker. And if you can see that there, it shows 233. Focus, 233, 232 on that probe I have on the rack. And in 2 hours, we are down to, looks like 15.5 inches. Let me see if I can get a decent light or some light. You know, hopefully you can see. It looks like just about 15.5 inches of pellets. So it seems like my thought that the pellets basically go down about an hour of 1 hour of pellets per inch of pellets in the cooker here. I'm sure once it gets a little lower, that number is going to change slightly because of the taper at the bottom of the cooker. But I won't say who knows, but at this point, I'm getting ready to go to bed. It's almost 11 and I have a long night tomorrow. Tomorrow's a Wednesday. If you do not know, I do live streams on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Bring a beverage, join us, have a good time. Let's talk barbecue. And then usually for about an hour, and then we talk about almost any and everything else in the second hour of the live stream. Anyway, I'm going to bed. I will pick this up in the morning. Good morning. It is just about 7 o'clock and we are at 10 hours, pretty much exactly. So I'm walking out and down to the garage. There's Debbie, my wife's van. My wife has the ID4 EV. So I'm walking out to the garage and I'm gonna get the garage open and we're gonna check the cooker to see how the pellet cabinet is doing. All right. Look like we're still running at 235 on the grate. Let me open this up and I'll show you where. Whew, step back. Anyone ever worried about smoke does not need to be. All right, so there is where this is grate 1, grate 2. I have the probe poking out just under the second grate there. All right, open that up for a quick second. And let's look down into the hopper. Holy cow. We have a ways to go. All right, so I'm going to level out the pellets down in here. And let me shine a light so I can see what we're at 10 inches of pellets left after 10 hours of cooking. That is crazy. See if I can get this down in there so you guys can see the exact number. Ooh, it's warm. All right, so we're at about 10 inches of pellets. I honestly was expecting this to be lower than that. So after 10 hours, we've lost 7 inches of pellets. So I want to say my theory of the pellets going down an inch an hour, I guess maybe overnight or throughout the longer cook, it slows down just a little bit. But I am very, very happy. I was actually expecting this to take like 12 to 15 hours. So I don't know, maybe I miscalculated or undercalculated. So I'm gonna show you guys the chart. So we are rolling steady here. And we're just at, I said 10 hours, we're at 11 hours. I apologize. Wow, there is the high temperature, where it dropped down, and then it's been steady within a few degrees all night long. So during the highs, it gets up to like 255, 257. During the lows, it gets down to 242, 243. That's as told by the cooker probe. The number 7 probe is the cooker probe. The number 1 probe is the one that I'm using for the grate, and it has had the same variance of about 10 degrees plus or minus, well, 5 degrees plus or minus, where it's settled in at about that 235 degree mark. But I am, pleasantly surprised. And like I said, I was expecting there to be less pellets than there are, but nonetheless, we're just going to keep watching, keep seeing what's going on, and I'll bring you guys back out here in another hour or two. All right, I'm back outside at the cooker. The Lone Star Grillz cabinet or pellet cabinet cooker smoker. This thing is fantastic. It is fantastic. The bee's knees. All right, so we're still holding set point 250 degrees. That shows 232.7 at the grate. And let's take a look down in the hopper. Dun, dun, dun. All right, looking pretty good. We have a crater down in there, but I mean, we're at almost 14 hours. It is almost 10 o'clock. And yes, 14 hours almost, just about 14 hours on this cook. I say on this cook, 14 hours on this test. So I'll be back out here. It looks like we have, let me get the exact amount of pellets that we have left. Let's get the level, turn the light on. We're looking at, the level reads just at about 8 inches. I will level that out before I head in the house, and 8 inches of pellets. Wow, that's crazy. So now, of course, obviously, had I been opening up the cooker and doing different things, and I'm sure that having more meat or meat in the cooker period would help to make this harder to not only maintain temperature, but to absorb some of that heat out of the cooker, making it work a little harder. But still, so far, I am thoroughly impressed. Hi ho, back to the garage I go. Hi ho, 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 hi ho. Looking at over 16 hours so far on this test. I won't say cook, test. Let's see what we have going on at the cooker. Man, oh man. Gee, it's cruising right along. Let's see what inside the pellet hopper looks like. Whoa. Still plenty of pellets down there. Let me level this out. Let's see. All right. See if I can get a good reading on the level. All right, so we're looking at right about 7 inches of pellets left. 7 inches. Woo, buddy. I'm telling you right now, I can't believe this is still going. Not that I say don't believe it, but let's see. 16 hours. That one dip right there was the only time or when I opened the door earlier this morning to show you guys where the probe was. But it is just after 12 o'clock, 12:10 to be exact, so I can give you guys a time point. Wow, I was not expecting this to last as long. And I'm sure that if I had food in here, it would be not running as easily. That food would be sucking some of the heat out of the air, and it would probably be a little more intensive. But I don't know, maybe I can do this test again with some pork shoulder or a brisket, something. Maybe not a brisket. Brisket might not take long enough. Well, I don't know. We'll figure something out. You guys let me know what you want to see, or if you want to see another test with some food in the cooker, and I guess we can kind of go from there. But is that 16 hours? 16 hours so far. Just double check, make sure. Yes, 16 hours and counting. I'll check back in a bit. So, how's your day going? My day? It's fantastic.
I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
I'm walking here. I don't know what's going on in the street. People come to the intersection, don't know how to be nice and let one person go in front of the other. Anyway, it's still running. Oh my goodness. We're not even exposed. I don't even see, like, up there we go, finally. And that was just me moving the, so we're down to, let me level this back out. We're level, and oh my goodness gracious. Basically, this is the point where the bottom of the hopper starts to angle down, and we're still with it. So that bend is right at about the 5.5 inch mark. Here, let me get my phone out and put some light on it. It's kind of difficult. One-handed. Not trying to cast a shadow. There we go. So you can see where the bend is on the ruler. And wow. Oh, I didn't tell you, it is just after 2 o'clock, and this cook, we have been rolling here for now 18 hours. 18 hours. See the 18 hours. There's probably another 3, maybe even 4 hours of pellets down in there. I don't know whether I want to run this completely dry or just get it down to the point where I can see the auger, so I don't have to worry, excuse me, so I don't have to worry about restarting and repriming the cooker. But it's still going. I'll see y'all in about another 2 hours maybe. All right, it is 2:40 p.m. I started this almost 19 hours ago, and we are rolling steady. I unfortunately have to stop this. I have to go pick up taste tester number 3, and then I have a soccer game for taste tester number 2 to attend. So what I will do is, once I get home a little later, I will turn this back on and we'll kind of tabulate or total the hours cooked. But let me show you the charts as of right now. All right, you can see there, 18 hours, 44 minutes. And actually, let's see if I can, I don't have 2 hands here. 1 second. I'm gonna try to use the app to turn the cooker off. See if I can do that, figure it out. All right, so from the Fireboard app, I'm in the dashboard and the chart. I'm gonna go to mode and go from, or just turn it off. Setting the mode off will begin the cool down process. Okay. And the screen on the controller turned to cool down. All right, so we are in cool down mode. All right, in life be life in news, I'm back home and it is 7 o'clock. When I left the house, it was like 3. This is why I didn't want to leave it on. As I was saying, I didn't want to leave the cooker on because, all right, because I was going to be gone for a while. All right, press knob to ignite. And we're going to go to 250. All right, so we're back at it. It is just about 7 o'clock. Let me see, or let me make sure that the yep, we got a new session. So our new session is, oh man, it seemed like the session went until here. Actually, the last session. All right, I'll figure it out later. Anyway, I'm starting the timer back up, or I'm starting a new session, and it's going to keep track of how long the cooker is going. Again, it is 7 o'clock. I'm hoping that we have maybe no more than another 3 hours worth of pellets in the cooker. I'm hoping it's less than that. Looking down in the hopper, again, you can see where the bend on where the pellets are starting to get to the point where they're going to the bottom of the hopper, and that is where the auger is, right down in there. Hey, welcome back out to the garage. It is 8:45, and let's see how long. So that's an hour and 45 minutes, pretty much. Let's see this one. Yep, an hour and 42 minutes. Just about on this second part of the cook. So we went like 19 plus hours the first bit, and another almost 2 hours currently. Let me show you what the hopper looks like. I can see down into the bottom of the hopper, and let me get you guys some more light so you can see. It's a little better in person than it is on camera. There you go. So you can see down to the bottom of the hopper there. I'm going to stir the pellets around and get them so they are in the lowest point of the hopper, but we are getting pretty, I'll say pretty close. But it looks like we might have another hour, maybe hour and a half of pellets to get down in there. All right, so I am suspending the camera down into the belly of the hopper here, and I wanted you to see, you can see the auger. There we go. You can see the auger and the pellets going into the auger. I'm going to mix everything up. One of the things I do notice with this to this point is the auger is much louder because of the fact that it is exposed and there's no pellets to, I guess, muffle the sound. So I'm gonna mix these around and get the bottom of the hopper, you know, get all the pellets that are in the corners, get them down into the bottom of the hopper, and I'll see how long the fire keeps going. All right, so this video that I'm filming right now should be, I won't say in the middle, but before the very end of the video. As I was doing the live stream, Victor asked a very, I won't say important question, but he asked me about what it looked like inside of the cooker after doing this cook. So we're going to take everything out of here and see what it looks like inside while trying not to get too dirty. All right, so we're going to put Do the second rack. Yes, up. Rack, put it up top. And the bottom rack all the way up top as well. And I don't anticipate it being too dirty down in here, but I'm going to get a light down here so we can hopefully see a little better. I'm trying not to get, because my hands are already dirty. Whew. All right, can you guys see down in there? No, of course not. There we go. That looks a little better. All right, so trying not to get my hands and my camera too filthy here, but let's look down in here and see what we have. The plate, of course, looks fine because there was no food being cooked. So that's not very dirty, let's say, in the grand scheme of things. And the diverter plate also doesn't look too bad after that cook. And this doesn't look too crazy either. I mean, there is some remnants here. And on the top of the, I guess, diverter plate here. But it doesn't look too crazy. Obviously, there's no grease or anything. I'm gonna try to adjust the camera down just a smidge. Sorry, I'm doing this with gloved hands, trying not to get my camera and everything else too dirty. But everything that was down in here is really well dried up, and the amount of ash that's down in here is very minimal. I mean, after a 20-hour cook, a 40-pound bag of pellets, this is very little ash and, you know, in here residual residue. Just like trying to knock some of this dirt and ash out and down. In the pellet, I mean, in the hopper here, there's not very much ash. I'm reaching down in here. There's not that much ash in here. I am pleasantly surprised at just how clean the cooker is on the inside after that 22-hour cook. All right, so I'm not going to put everything back into the cooker because I want to actually vacuum it out. I figure I have done the 40-pound bag of pellets, and I might as well clean it out before I put it all back together before its next use. But like I said, I'm gonna put this in between before the actual end of the video. But so far, this is by far, everything has been fantastic. And hopefully this helps you guys to see what the 40-pound bag of pellets, running through the 40-pound bag of pellets, is and does. Also see the, I'm gonna say, the aftermath, or what it looks like down in there afterwards. Sure, cleaning it out regularly and making sure that it is clean and there's not as much ash and debris in this cooker is recommended. But I mean, you could probably run a bag and some change through this without any problems. Anyway, thank you guys again, and I'll put you back to the end of the video. All right, so I am back out here, and I'm hoping this will be my final update. I don't want to run the pellets completely dry in the pellet cabinet, just so I don't have to worry about priming it the next time I need it and I forget that I need to prime it and I want to start it up quickly. It is just about 10 p.m. meaning that if I'm doing my math correct, this cooker has been going for 22 or 23 hours. I will have to confirm once I look back at the cooking data, or the data over the multiple cooks. But let me show you guys down in the hopper, and hopefully you guys can hear just how loud the hopper is getting. I heard some noise when I'm sitting outside finishing a live stream or doing a live stream while I'm finishing this, and I do apologize. I don't have my light because my phone is on the live stream right now, but I'm down to the bottom of the hopper. Let me get you guys a light because you guys can't see that. Whew, buddy. All right, so you guys can see down in the hopper there. I'm trying to point. There is the back of the auger, and obviously as the auger spins, it's pulling from this point and it's pulling the pellets in that way. So the pellets are pretty much almost completely exhausted. Again, you can see down in there where the auger is getting the pellets, and we are out. I'm down to the bottom of the ruler where we can see the circle of the beginning of the ruler, and we are down to nothing. And I'm gonna get you guys down into the cooker here. So there you are. You can see the auger and we can see the screw. We are down in there. So I'm gonna call it and say that you're looking at a cook at about an ambient air temperature of 80 degrees obviously with no food in the cooker. This cooker has been going for 22 hours. 22 hours on a single 40-pound bag of pellets. Do with that information as you will. Of course, as I say all the time, I'm going to turn this off. I'm just going to power that off right now and get it into the cool down mode. And I'll sit here while this finishes. But I think that's pretty daggone awesome. 20 plus hours on a single bag of the 40-pound smokehouse blend bag from Sam's Club, and that bag was $15. So you figure out how many cooks you can do on that single bag of pellets, and you can dollar cost average and figure out how much a cook is going to cost you in the grand scheme of things. But Pauline, the pellet cooker, I took the opportunity earlier this morning, I resprayed the grates while everything was hot and nice and ready. But I'm going to use this as my thumbnail. And I mean, like I always say, your mileage may vary. Obviously, different variables are going to impact how long it's going to, how long or how hard the auger is going to have to work to maintain that temperature. But with nothing in the cooker at about 80 degrees, 20 plus hours or almost 22 hours on a single bag of pellets, that's pretty fantastic, pretty phenomenal. And maybe we'll have to put some stuff in it and see how long it lasts from then on. Anyway, thanks again as always for watching. I know this has been a bit rambly, but if you have any other if you have any other questions about the pellet cooker, please let me know, or anything else you want to see, let me know in the comments down below, and we'll see if I can get it worked out in the coming videos. All right, thanks again. See you next time.
More water, baby.